It's that time of the day. Oh, Oscar. Woo! 27 months, baby. 27 months, Oscar. Woo! All right. Today is the day that we'll get what's happening to Greenland. I just hope that it's good. Okie dokie. We're just waiting for the press conference to start from the Greenlandish delegation and Danish delegation. But unfortunately, there's like Dumb and Dumber leading the conversation, meaning JD Vance and Marco Rubio. So it's kind of cowardice from Trump not to participate. Maybe he's fearful of like how good the Danish and Greenlandish ministers are. In the meanwhile, US freezes all visa processing for 75 countries. Why are fucking the press secretary of the United States linking Fox News? Don't they have like official pages or something? Let's see if there's some surprises here. Well, Brasilia, Colombia are there, Cuba is there, and Georgia. Well, that's surprising. Iran, Iraq, Jamaica, Kosovo, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Lebanon, Moldova, and Moldova is on that list. Nepal. What? Russia. Well, yeah. There's some surprises in that list that don't make any sense that they're on that list, that they are banning people to travel to the United States. Well, if they want to isolate themselves, I mean, go for it. Nobody's stopping that. Majority of the Americans don't want Greenland. Greenland doesn't want to be a part of the United States. No, but like, there is no reason for Greenland to be a part of the United States. Like, literally. Trump is making excuses, those Iraq-style excuses, that if we don't take Greenland, then Russia or China will take Greenland. Yeah, go fuck yourself. That orange fucking buffoon doesn't even understand that based on the Article 5 and 6 of NATO, Greenland is already protected. So, yes, there is, but you don't seem to listen. No, there isn't. What are you gonna do if they do take it instead of... I mean, have you ever seen China or Russia attack another NATO country? Please do. Like the NATO allies are already sending military infrastructure to Greenland. Like, Trump is just fucking idiot. He's making the same fucking excuses that Bush made, that Obama made. Like, there's no difference. He's as much of a war-hungry president than everybody else, making lies to justify his invasion of Greenland. Read Article 5 and Article 6 of the NATO. And also, not to mention 1951. US-Denmark defense agreement. Like, there's so much protection over already on Greenland. Apparently not enough, though, because... No, but like Trump said, he doesn't care about protecting Greenland, even on the Article 5 and Article 6 of NATO. Because he needs to own it. Nah, Greenland is not going to be part of the United States. Trump will chicken out. Fuck Trump, greetings from Bosnia. I do agree. Greetings back to Bosnia. Do agree with that. Fuck Trump. That's the international feeling towards Trump, 100%. Why is Greenland full of ice and Iceland full of green? They should care about their people. Yeah, I mean, they should care about their own citizens instead of like trying to invade a lot of different countries and spread them too thin so they don't have the money to take care of everything and just generate more and more enemies for themselves, internally and externally. Why so harsh? I mean, if Trump wants to take a peaceful fucking country of Greenland, I have no reason to be anything else except harsh. Especially because it's based in lies. The American government has never cared about us. I do agree with that. Name 5 good things Trump has done. Fighting against the pharmaceutical companies, even though he was really unsuccessful with that because a lot of the pharmaceutical companies are raising prices. Some of them lower prices, but a lot of them are raising prices. That's one good thing that Trump has done. The rest is kind of hard to find, but I think that that's a good thing at least he's done. American here, those of us with any intelligence are horrified. Yeah, I know. It is not all Americans, and I'm not saying all Americans. Like, there are a lot of smart people in America. Unfortunately, there's a lot of dumb people who voted for Trump based on lies. The American government has never cared about anyone. Biden had the prices way lower. But I do think that fighting against pharmaceutical companies trying to make a maximum profit of people's health is wrong. Fuck pharmaceutical companies. Undecided D unit, thanks for the follow. Okay, pharmaceutical companies. What else did he do? That's a good thing. That's a good question. He did fuck up all the international relationships, if that's a good thing. I mean, somebody might consider that a good thing. He screwed all over the farmers again. Some might think that's a good thing. He's done nothing good. Yeah. Magadak, thanks. Hey, bro. They just announced today the cutting of funds 2 billion in drug treatment and mental health care. Yeah, they are doing one thing and then they're at the same time trying to fuck away another thing. If you join a side in politics, you can't be very smart. Well, that's like a good thing to be in the middle. You know? Try and be in the middle. A huge majority of Americans do not support what Donnie is saying. because it's being fraudulent. Use think before speaking. Are you right wing? No, definitely. I'm not even a proper left winger, which is kind of wild. It's the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich in history. The pharmaceutical industry and insurance industry. How about you come on over and join the ICE protest? I would gladly join the ICE protest. I think all the ICE protesters need to remember that they have the Second Amendment. Just a reminder. Not saying anything else. I just remind that they have the Second Amendment. Ignored my question about what's Greenland's main export. What does that have to do with anything? It's Denmark's thing. The rare minerals that they have, they do export that, but that's about it. For their homes, they have the Second Amendment. How do you pronounce your name? However you want to. It's a username. I don't get offended how you pronounce it. How would you feel if Russia and China will take over? Russia and China will not take over. Read NATO's Article 5 and 6 before making stupid comments like Trump did. Read NATO's Article 5 and 6 before commenting anything about China and Russia taking over. Ron-up50, thanks for the roses. You think they care about NATO? Okay. I mean, can't really help you with that. I'm Alicia, so just curious. Yeah. Like that's a perfectly normal way to pronounce it. It's about the fact that we have an enemy warships on Greenland's coastline. Yeah. They start in 7 minutes. He wants Greenland and is going to send all the lip charts there, hopefully. I mean, we have some proper idiots in the chat today, but like, you think that it's gonna benefit the United States at all that you spread yourself thin? User, thanks for the follow. Like, your government is focusing on foreign countries instead of you. You think that's gonna make the country great again? Even though the whole premise of like, let's make America great again is kind of stupid in the beginning with like, America in the 2020s is way better than it was in the 1950s. So, are you in Greenland? No. We stand with Greenland. Oh yeah, 100%. I think Trump is just on his latest moments before dementia takes completely over. They postponed another 10 minutes. So in 15 minutes they'll go live. Okay. I mean, Father Time could work a bit faster. Trump is already showing huge signs of decline. The same sort that Biden had. So hopefully it's only a matter of time. It's bait. ICE to cancel the midterms and the rest is to distract from Epstein. I mean, Epstein files are almost 1 month due. And this is like the best magic trick I've ever seen. Is like Trump's admin trying their hardest to avoid releasing the Epstein files. Hello from California. What up, Steve? And I guess you're a doctor now. You don't need to be a doctor to know that if you're required by your physician to take 3 cognitive tests, that there's not everything okay. Also, Trump forgets stuff that he says 5 minutes ago. Also, he forgets things that he said last week ago. His left leg is dragging behind. No normal fucking person walks like that. Hey, Corbin Dallas, thanks for the galaxy. God damn. Damn. X pitäisi kieltää koko Euroopassa. I do think that until Elon does something for X, it should. Nyt mennään. I personally think he's sharper than you. Ukiman, you probably are one of Trump's like voters and supporters because he does like the uneducated quite a lot. So Let's celebrate. I would dance, but I'm a horrible dancer. Also, you're back. I am back, Kai. Yeah, Trump is the leader of the Epstein files. I mean, if Greenland wants to truly vanish from Trump's radar, they should just say that there's more Epstein files in Greenland, and all of a sudden Trump can't find Greenland anymore. If you just put a box of Epstein files in Greenland, Trump would just freak out, and Greenland would completely vanish from the map. Darth Crackle, thanks for the follow. Or books. Or books. Trump is the leader and Epstein was the manager. Kele, I listened to the tapes. You're talking about what's he called? The new victim that came forward. I listened to the tapes as well. Corbin Dallas, thanks for the roses as well. Just rename it to Epstein Island. Well, then Trump would just go there. Teresa, thanks for the follow. Sasha Riley, that's the one. Yeah. I listened to the tapes of Sasha Riley yesterday. And I have to say that it is kind of interesting. Elon's brain has been turned into chewing gum from all the ketamine. He's drug addict psycho, 100%. The morons don't understand that countries around the world don't need militaries. Economic sanctions can topple regimes, even the US. True. Alana, Epstein files is a real thing. If you live in under a rock or if you suck too much of Trump's ass juices, of course you can't understand that the Epstein files are real. Hi, bro. What up? What up, Aishing? We're waiting for the press conference for Greenland to start. How come the Epstein files were not exposed when Biden was the president? I mean, I think that's a huge mistake from the Democratic part. Corbin, thanks for the 38 TikToks. I think that was a huge mistake from the Democratic leadership. They should have released the Epstein files. Why do you guys think that I'm a Democrat? I'm not. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. So, City Space, thanks for the follow. Did you see Trump's fight with a worker today? It was so funny. Yeah, Trump showed the little hand, middle finger. Somebody yelled to Trump, pedo protector, and Trump got super fucking sour. And showed a middle finger and said, fuck you. His ego is so fragile that he can't, like, oh, well, to be fair, Steve, thanks for the follow. If somebody yells pedo protector to any of us in the chat, we wouldn't bat an eye. But if you are a pedo protector, you might react to that. I'm just saying. He's terrified he will start World War III rather than let people know what's in those files. All Greenland's base are belong to us. Greenlands. That guy works for Ford and is a union protected worker. Yes, and the union already reacted to that. I like your mind, I'm gonna follow. Thanks for the follow. Wait a second, where's my screen? Where's my big screen? Google. Pedo protector, there we go. We are with the people of Greenland. We are against Trump. I am as well. There you go. It's in a factory, so you don't really hear anything other than like the pedophile protector. And then you can read from the lips that Trump said that fuck you. Well, just on what's today's quick update, please. Greenland's delegation and Danish delegation is meeting up with Dumb and Dumber, also known as Marco Rubio and JD Vance, to have a conversation about Greenland's future. Iran is allegedly executing protesters, so we're going to look into that as well. But mainly it's going to be about Greenland today. What about the underage girls Trump abused? What about the child that was fucking killed, thrown over a boat or something like that? I bet he told them to fire the worker after he popped the bird, and they did. He was actually suspended already. But a GoFundMe was created for the worker, and he already got like 150,000 or something like that. CC, thanks to the follow. Did you hear they are offering 700 billion for it? I mean, the USA doesn't have money like that, so they shouldn't just offer money like that. But again, Trump doesn't really know numbers, so... Lake Michigan. Be strong, Greenlandians. We are with you. Pay your fair share along with the other NATO nationals, mate, cause you can't get away with shit anymore. What the fuck, Blues, if you're kind of like yelling to an echo chamber here. Like, not even an echo chamber, just in like empty halls. Dark Earth, thanks for the follow. Okay, listen, Gillian was in litigation and couldn't release them because it was on ongoing case. The people of America do not want to annex Greenland. The US is broken, right? But I bet that demanded his suspension. Democrat acts Republican acts National Socialism. We're going to take Denmark too. And then, if that would happen, empires fall all the time. All the fucking time. And the people of the United States would be the one that's left there suffer while your richest of the rich would just fuck off. Trump included. You would not see Trump there. Once shit hits the fan. Once everybody is fucking suffering, they would be the first one to leave and leave you there. That's how much they care about you guys. Our government does not represent the majority of the USA. I do know that. Unfortunately, it does represent 7 minutes. Thanks. What is Greenland Day? Today is going to be the day that we'll hear if Greenland is... What's happened? I need good news. Yeah, 100%. GI Freedom, thanks for the heart. How will you stop the USA? I mean, there's other countries as well that we can do business with. That would instantly like hinder USA. Of course, USA probably would use the military after that, because that's what bullies do. That's what they only have is military, nothing else. We would like Greenland to take over USA. I would love that. China and Russia isn't going to attack Greenland. Greenland is protected under Article 5 and 6. Anyone who writes China and Russia there clearly doesn't know what's going on, so you should just shut the fuck up. What up? Just another observation. Same thing happened to US in Europe just 75 years ago. How are you, my friend? I'm doing fine in human society. How are you doing? The tech acceleration that owns those governments want it to collapse. They are also the ones that want Greenland. Real facts matter. Thanks for the follow. We just don't want China and Russia dealing with Greenland. I mean, that's the issue. Like, sovereign countries that can do what the fuck they want. I already read today that even Denmark and Greenland knows that China wants to do business with them. If Greenland wants to do business with China, they're more than happy to do that. And they have the right to do that. You know who doesn't have the right to decide that? The fucking United States. What if Greenland wants to join? I mean, they already said no. Also, they have the referendum possibility that if they want to, like, you know, go away from Denmark. They haven't done that yet. Yeah, Greenland is not a country, that's true. But Greenland has the right to do business with China. Greenland is a territory of Denmark, of the Kingdom of Denmark. Do you have any idea what my President Trump has done in a year? I do know what President Trump has done in a year. He slept quite a lot, played a lot of golf, and fucked a lot of people over. Also invaded the country. Bombed a lot of countries as well. Is planning to invade more countries. Colonialism should in real is already banned. Yeah. Ray, thanks for the follow. And it's not the United States, Donald dumbass Trump. Your jealousy is showing. What's my jealousy? I wish Denmark would purchase the USA. Hey, Geslo, thanks for the follow. Trump will run to Saudi Arabia. I mean, if Trump runs to Saudi Arabia, he already has a resort there because he built a resort on his name. Of course, Trump is probably not. Josie, Michael, thanks for the follow. What? This man goes to bed at 11, gets up at 3. That's sleeping a lot. You think of what? He sleeps through press conferences. He sleeps through cabinet meetings. Big Rich, thanks for the follow. Any speculation on why they keep emphasizing that it's protection for the Arctic? They make, I mean, who here doesn't know how Americans do regime changes, participate in foreign countries' politics or territories' politics, or takes over countries or invade them? It's always, they invent a bullshit reason, they lie, they go there, and years later, we found out that it was based in a lie. The same fucking playbook, whether it's Broken Pieces, thanks for the follow, whether it's fucking Bill Clinton, whether it's George W. Bush Jr., whether it's Obama, now it's Trump. Every single one of them does the same fucking thing. Everyone. They fucking lie their ass off to go to war, take over another country, take their natural resources, and make a bullshit reason that why they do that. And years later, we find out it's a complete lie. Every fucking time. Magnusone, thanks for the follow. They don't teach history here. I know that. I fucking know that. Hey, thanks for the little crown, GI Freedom. Also, Lady Sue, thanks for the heart. Looking East, Matt, thanks for the follow both. Denmark is a part of NATO. Yeah, and again, anyone who claims that China and Russia is going to invade Greenland is completely delusional and haven't actually read what protects Greenland at the moment. You should I highly recommend you go read NATO Article 5 and 6 before making yourself look really fucking foolish. China and Russia are at your back door and they won't be knocking to come in. Virginia, thanks for the heart. Russia is already US's neighbor. I'm American. We are helping Europeans have a better life. It's all a distraction. I mean, there's probably entities that we don't know that are manipulating things in the background. I hope. I hope there's somebody pulling the strings behind the scenes, because I hope no one person is so fucking dumb. NATO without the US is a gang at most. You gotta understand, dude, there is a huge anti-NATO sentiment in the US. People think it's a New World Order conspiracy. NATO is a joke. Who will call when America's adversaries come knocking? Add a request and I'll prove you wrong. No. Most of this country is at 6th grade level. I watched him stare at a window in the meeting. I also saw that. You should watch my video of that. Eric Gutierrez, thanks for the follow. I add one thing. I add spammers to the Shadow Realm. I will. Should be up to the Greenlanders as far as... I mean, they said no. He was farting. Honest question, because I'm American. Do other countries not lie to their citizens about agendas? They do. Diana Carp, but they don't invade other countries based on, like, at least European countries anymore. It breaks my heart what my country is turning into. We know who you are. You wear red hats, right? I do. Red hats. Always red hats. As an American, I'm sorry for Trump. Don't be. He's a expert fraudster and a salesperson, so he knows how to lie. Unfortunately, there was more people who believed those lies and that fraudulent campaign speech than those people that actually call that bullshit. It's not your fault. I would actually say that it's not even MIGA's fault, because they got swindled by a known fraudster. Ray of Light, thanks for the follow. Like, Angel, thanks for the follow as well. And also Juju and Valerie. Like, my wife said that originally a few weeks ago, and I was like, nah, fuck, it's their fault as well. But now I start to believe that it might not even be MIGA's fault. Because, like, they're just, as Trump said, not educated. And usually the people who are more uneducated are more easily fooled by lies and fraudsters. Scott White, thanks for the heart. And also the rose. We've already have bases in Europe, you know? Do you know Star Spangled Banner? I can play it on guitar, though, but I don't know how to sing it. I voted for the smart lady both times. All NATO's bases are belong to us. Username same. And the Danish government's capitulation of the... What? Oh, now we're going back to the Second World War. Best radio station there. I listen to Radio Garden, so I'm always open to new stations. I don't listen to radio. Like, even when I'm driving a car, I usually just listen to my own fucking thoughts. Try to, like zone out from all the bullshit happening around the world. I might listen to music, though, but not radios. Thank God, a person with a... They are victims of a cult. Make Europe great again. What was the stupid statement there? Let me see. How about you get out of NATO and you guys deal with Russia yourself? Username, thanks for the follow. I mean, no. Here in the US, they were trying to convince people that Denmark wants us to have Greenland. Yeah, and there are people, a lot of people who believe that. There are a lot of people who believe that, even though that is not true. They even sent their newest golden boy, the new propaganda reporter there, to handpick the few non-natives that say that they want to join the United States. Just like he did in Ukraine, just like he did, like, the war never ended, my friend, just went dormant. I live in Tennessee, USA, about 6 years total. I had never seen so many adults from all sorts of life without a high school diploma. I mean, it's the land of the free and land of the opportunities, so I guess that's like a medal you can give yourself, a diploma. Like, who needs a high school diploma? I know how to chase a tire. Stay who you are, thank you. Trump is mostly aligned with Putin. They had decided to leave school to work or something, sometimes drugs. I mean, I'm Tennessee, can confirm. No, boo boo, thanks for the follow. Now Tennessee is probably on the list of people who hate me. Like, I already pissed off the Dutch once. You guys want to hear before the Danish start how I pissed off the Dutch? They have a really old tradition called Zwarte Piet, and I made a video about that, and I got death threats from the Dutch. Not Dutchland, the Netherlands. No, I'm in Tennessee, and it sucks. Yeah, like if you want to see that, like, highly recommend, but it's not safe for work though. So if you want to see what Svarte Beat is, I wouldn't check that in at work. But they didn't like it. There was a lot of people that called me out because I was highlighting it, because it's slowly drifting away from their culture, but it is still a part of their culture. I'm in Florida, it sucks. Why he have retired rockstar have Reddit mod? I mean, isn't all retired rockstars Reddit mods? I'm productive, own a business. I know lots of guys like me. I mean, Danish authorities are gonna talk in 25 or so. What do you think is gonna happen? That's what we're waiting for. For the Danish, like, minister and also the Greenland's premier to start the conversation. I hope they said that they showed the middle finger both to Mark Rubio and JD Vance and told them to go fuck themselves. I hope that's the answer. Just curious, what is your profession? I'm an I need to be tiptoeing around the subject, but I'm a quality manager. There is only 9% of adults in America that does not have at least high school diploma. One Medusiali, thanks for the follow. I'm in New York City and it's great, only if you have the means. Let's give Mom Donnie time. Let's give Mom Donnie time and maybe he'll make New York a bit more affordable for everybody. New York City, I mean. America, hear a shame of my country, sending love and prayers. This is true, and I could prove it if needed. I left the last time when they all went cult. It was sad. Racism went up in my face. This is true, and I could prove it if needed. It was bad. Are we talking about MIGA? I love Mamdani. I mean, I hope Mamdani at least achieves half what he said he would achieve. And even if he achieves half, that's a victory. Camille Willima, thanks for the like. 56,000 people, your stats should be great. What? I don't understand why people say this genuinely. What are we... What did Goat House say? Goat House, Goat House. I don't even see that. Well, maybe it's a good thing. Can Mom Downey tax the billionaires? I wonder. I wonder. We were told our whole lives it takes everybody to get shit done, and he's doing it alone. Yeah. You know why? Because at least he's brave enough to try something else. Kudos to him. Like, at least he's promising to try something else. He hasn't tried yet, but at least he's promising to try something else, unlike all of the other political puppets that are promising the same fucking things. Our government literally threatened us with a message on their podium yesterday. Yep. The head of ICE also said that all the protesters are cannon fodder, which is kind of disturbing that you're like a lot of Americans, well, mainly MAGA and right-wing Americans are celebrating that. You have a walking, talking Gestapo officer and also walking, talking Gestapo going from door to door, asking US citizens for their IDs because of the color of their skin or their accent. That's a bit sus if you ask me. It's like I've read history and I've seen that somewhere before. Who can tell me where in history have we saw a similar thing? I wonder if it was in the 30s. I wonder if it was in the 30s, yes. Yeah, I know it's in Germany, and I know it's in the 30s Germany, 100%. Like, I've read a lot about history throughout, like, at the end of the First World War, up until to the end of the Second World War, because there's a lot of things that happened between the 1920s and 1938 that was super interesting in a historical standpoint to see how the whole fucking world was driving itself to doom. Like the whole world. BP, thanks for the follow. Where the people stand together. 100%. Like, people have, at the end of the day, the power. We learn from you guys. Come on. Ash just human, thanks for the heart. The angry Finn gets paid to agitate. I have a 9-to-5 job. Nobody's paying me. What's your next excuse, Johnny Mac? Oh, we have Johnny Mac here again. Trying to agitate me. What is your response to be, I don't know, hey bro, can we do a co-host together? At least not now, especially because I don't know you. That's like saying that I might not do in the future, but I do like to know people who I'm like talking with. At least in a like casual manner. Few messages in chat or something like that. not complete like strangers, because I'm streaming in other platforms as well. So it only takes a few racial slurs and that's it. Those are banned. Dalai Mari, thanks for the follow. Lol, Finland and Norway can't keep their citizens. What? Johnny Mac, why are you spreading lies? Imagine being Johnny Mac who gets paid to spread lies in the internet. Stevie X7, I just used the same logic as you, Johnny. Sorry. Why I block? I didn't block you. What is your response? I don't... Mike, follow, thanks for the follow. They call me Mr. Stale Land. What is, like... Okay, that's getting on my nerve, though. Not lies. I'm fucking Finnish. I'm Finnish. Johnny Mac must be an ICE officer. They're talking. Oh, where's the live? Is it in English or Danish?
The Kingdom of Denmark has already stepped up our own contribution by committing additional funds for military capabilities, not dock slates, but ships, drones, fighter jets, etc. And we are definitely ready to do more. The US has already a wide military access to Greenland. Under the 1951 Defense Agreement, the US can always ask for increasing its presence in Greenland. And therefore, we wish to hear if the US had any further requests to make in this aspect. We would examine any such request constructively. Greenland is, through the Kingdom of Denmark, a member of NATO and has been that since the very founding of NATO in 1949, and is therefore also covered by Article 5. We have been pushing for quite a while in NATO for a stronger collective role in Greenland together with a number of allies, and we are eager to work with the US on advancing this agenda, and we are prepared to go further. Therefore, our aim was to find a common understanding on all these points and to launch, if possible, further in-depth work to deliver on them. On this basis, we had what I would describe as a frank but also constructive discussion. The discussions focused on how to ensure the long-term security in Greenland. And here our perspectives continue to differ, I must say. The President has made his view clear, and we have a different position. We, the Kingdom of Denmark, continue to believe that also the long-term security of Greenland can be ensured inside the current framework, the 1951 agreement on the defense of Greenland, as well as the NATO treaty. For us, ideas that would not respect territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark and the right of self-determination of the Greenlandic people are, of course, totally unacceptable. And we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk. We have decided to form a high-level working group to explore if we can find a common way forward. The group, in our view, should focus on how to address the American security concerns, while at the same time respecting the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark. We expect that such a group will meet for a first time within a matter of weeks. And then I will pass the floor to my colleague from Greenland, Vivian Mosfeld.
Thank you so much. Not repeating what already been said here, so I would like to say something in my own language, because there are many, many people in Greenland that follows, and for that, I hope that you will allow me. So, aseseka nunaqatikka naringiraa tamas marinnaasusi ulloq uatsinnut pissanganarsimavoq oqaatigilagani ullumik ataatimiineq ingerlalluarsimammat aamalu inimi ataatimiiffigisatsinni атаққиқатигиинеқ ааллаавигалу оқалеқатигиинери ингерланнеқарсимаммата массаккуллу сиуму саммисимик оқалеқатигиинерит ингерларсимассаалу аққутиник уярлеқатигииниссатсиннут исимақатигиисималлута. I think that our meeting today and our commitment to find the right path is something that gives us to be able to see forward.
It's about resources and
by saying that, I also committed on what Minister.
There you go. Yeah, I was just impatient, so I should have just waited.
Already said. So thank you for that.
Thank you. And then I think we can take a few questions. Tom from BBC. Yes.
Thank you very much, Tom. Just first of all, you talked about the working group. Could you just give us a sense of what this means now? So what has actually agreed we're going to do next? Despite this,
nice to see you, my friend. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks.
In terms of what you've announced in terms of
the United States will turn Greenland into a toxic wasteland, 100%.
Well, that's actually quite a few questions at the same time. Well, I have known the president for quite a while, also in my former capacity as prime minister in Denmark, and I know his approach. But I must say, and even though he addressed things quite differently from what I would have done myself, there's also always a bit of truth in what he's saying, not about the dog sleighs. Well, we also have dog sleighs to our special forces. That's the way to, you know, otherwise you couldn't come around in the northern part of Greenland. But I must say that, of course, we share, to some extent, his concerns.
Not
There's
so easy to
definitely a
navigate.
new security situation in the Arctic and the high north. All of us, transatlantic, took the peace dividend years ago. And we have the vision of keeping Arctic as a low-tension region. That's probably also why U.S. themselves have decided to have a much softer footprint in Greenland. During the Cold War, at some stage, they had 17 different military installations and military bases. Now they only have one. They had like 10,000 personnel in Greenland. Now they have around 200. That's not our decision. That's a U.S. decision. And now the situation is entirely different. And of course, we have to respond to this. The big difference is whether that must lead to a situation where U.S. acquire Greenland, and that is absolutely not necessary. I mean, we have the long-lasting diplomatic relation, the longest-lasting diplomatic relation with U.S. that any U.S. ally has, 225 years in a row. And we have a perfect framework which could be used. And therefore, to answer your question, even though we wasn't so successful that we reached, a conclusion where our American colleagues said, "Oh, sorry, it was a totally misunderstanding. We gave up on our ambitions." There's clearly a disagreement. We agreed that it makes sense to try to sit down on a high level to explore whether there is possibilities to accommodate the concerns of the president, while we at the same time respect the red lines of the Kingdom of Denmark. So this is the work we will start. Whether that is doable, I don't know. I hope, and I would like to express that it could take, down the temperature. We have now had like 13 months with this ongoing discussions in social media, and this is actually the very first time where we could sit down at a top political level to discuss it. And it was a great opportunity also for Vivian and I to go up against the narrative because it is not a true narrative that we have, Chinese warships all around the place. According to our intelligence, we haven't had a Chinese warship in Greenland for a decade or so.
Do I trust the Danish?
from
who
that
actually know
it was a very
things,
constructive
or
meeting,
Trump who
as I
reads
said,
from the
frank
fucking cereal
discussion,
box?
Among equal partners.
I do trust the
now at least
Danish
we have
more
to
than
do
a
that.
person
Right.
who takes his news from a
Do you want to
cereal
add
box.
anything?
No, I think.
Let's be honest.
I think
thanks to the fellow.
it's very important to say it again that how important it is from our side to strengthen our cooperation with the United States. But that doesn't mean that we want to be owned by United States.
It's funny
but,
that people think
as
he actually
allies,
has
how we can strengthen our cooperation, it's all our interest.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. Of course, I would like to ask this question in Danish, but let me do it.
I
in
think,
English
Antonio,
because of our colleagues.
Anytime you speak
do you see
a
any
language not your native,
compromise
it can
ahead
be a
of
bit
you?
of
You said it a little,
like,
but could you elaborate a little on the possible compromise
this
that
is
there
coming
would
from
be
a person
between
who
the president's
English
wish
isn't my native
to
tongue. Of
acquire
course, all of
Greenland
you
or have control
can
of Greenland
clearly see
and
it,
the red lines
but
that
like
the
I've been
Kingdom of
talking
Denmark has gotten right now.
like in English
And
for such
if
a
you
long
also
time
can
that I
tell
don't
us
get
just a little
anxiety
bit
anymore.
about the approach that the Americans had to this meeting. What was their primary goal, as you see it? Was that to reach that end goal, or was it an open discussion of how do we solve the security situation in the Arctic?
Well, first of all, I don't think this is the proper place to
and it's a hard damn
elaborate
language
on
to
what
learn
would be a
100%. You're
compromise.
speaking
The whole
English
idea
excellently.
and the reason why we asked for this meeting was to turn public debate
Most Americans
in a very,
can't speak
black
English.
and white kind of setting into a discussion where there's room for nuances. And therefore, I'm pleased, even though we do not agree whether this is doable, while we at the same time
at work still what's going on, what have I missed?
Red lines.
The Danish
least,
and the Greenlandish delegation met with Marco Rubio and JD Vance.
Discussions at a high level. And then we have to see whether we'll be successful or not. I would say, and that is probably in comparison to some of the public debate, that the meeting took place in a very constructive atmosphere, where we also had, as I said, the opportunity to at least challenge the narrative presented by the American president. And I think that is a necessity if we want to have a proper
I pinned the comment in TikTok so you can see what's
it was
the
basically about security. I mean, and as I said, even though there's not an instant threat from China and Russia, at least not a threat we can't accommodate. For instance,
most
Chinese
Americans that have been here for hundreds of years
we have avoided that due to
not
close cooperation between Greenland and Denmark. When you saw, like 10 years ago, the Belt and Road Initiative and the idea of Chinese investments in infrastructure in Greenland, we avoided that. So there's no, Chinese present in Greenland, but there's a concern. Will that be the case in like a 10 or 20 years from now? It will not, because
you look like
our
Neil from the young
friends
ones.
have introduced investment screening schemes.
Lotion, thanks to the follow.
And Denmark, is...
it's really disturbing reading comments that add "can't sleep with socks" because I start the sentence every time with "can't sleep with socks."
And therefore we will also continue to do what we already have done. We have been stepping up. We have allocated almost $15 billion within just the last couple of years to capabilities in the high north. We have been pushing among the Arctic NATO states for
so many Americans think speaking more than one
NATO
language is
engagement.
un-American.
Honestly speaking, and now I can only point fingers at the former American administration, US has historically been a bit reluctant. Hopefully that will change now. There's a dialogue within the NATO framework, and we want to step up, and hopefully that could also accommodate some of the president's concern. But it's not that I'm now, saying everything is solved. It's not solved. We didn't manage, but and honestly speaking, I didn't believe that was doable. We didn't manage to change the American position. It's clear that the president has this wish of conquering over Greenland. We made it very, very clear that this is not in the interest of the kingdom. There's a government in Greenland with support from 3/4 of the Greenlandic population. The premier made it very, very clear yesterday that Greenland for the time being and for foreseeable future will remain within the Kingdom of Denmark. And therefore, this is a common position that we want to work with our American friends and allies, but it must be a respectful cooperation and it must respect the red lines. Should we take a very final question?
Greetings from UK, looking at USA leadership now, and
there's
we
a
are
fight going on now
about Trump trying to export MIGA to Europe. He's doing Putin's bidding 100%.
We can do that afterwards. Yeah.
Greenlanders don't love President Trump.
Had a constructive meeting.
Could try,
you
though.
said in Greenlandic, I could hear the translation, it was a good meeting. But how do you feel about going out of that room without the threats
just know
being
Trump is
off the
wilding
table?
out.
So we still have the American administration that wants to have Greenland being part of United States. And you say, Lars Løkke Rasmussen, that, well, we hope that we can find a way. But how do you actually feel?
Let me see if Trump is already freaking out.
It can't be very sort of securing, isn't it?
Vivian?
Not yet.
I think that it's never been so important to initiate that we are allies.
I do hope as well, I can't sleep with socks. Hopefully the rumors of his generals denying him war plans is true.
History together,
because
so it's
they
all
are
our
illegal.
interest to find the right balances. So I don't think I can say it longer than that. Of course, we have
we have to wait for his goons to describe to him what happened just now.
And for us, the most important is that you find the normalized relationship we used to have.
We may be
it's
getting
very
something
important.
crazier after he doesn't
and
go
I
his
think
way.
that we have
I think
initiated
they're going to attack
so many
now.
times where we stand and our geopolitical and location and everything that is very important, and we do it as an ally, and we do it. Of course, it's also our interest that Greenland's positions and how we do it, that you do it on behalf of the allies. And yes.
It's funny listening to a Finn who is more informed than the majority of America's media literacy. Critical thinking is dead here.
That would be the final question.
Mark Stone from Sky News. Can I just ask you both about the emotion?
It's all based in vibes.
What did the administration, what did Trump's team say to you when you presumably told them that you can't just take over a people, you can't just take over and acquire a nation? Was there any discussion about
this is a good
question.
Let's listen what the answer is.
Or for them, is this simply about security?
I think that what we have been saying, that the meeting is been on a respect way, and we have shown where our limits are, and from there, I think that it will be very good to look forward, and this high-level group that is going to work together. As I'm already saying, that it's all our interest to find the right path. It's all according to the security in Northern Hemisphere. So I don't want to say more than what we discussed in the
I love
closed,
European diplomacy. I love Nordic diplomacy.
I would like to have this.
I love the way the politicians in the Nordic Europe speak.
Hope for a more mutual understanding and trying to find the right balances.
There we go.
Equally from all countries.
We listened yesterday when Trump was having a speech, and now we're listening when real politicians talk.
Of course, particularly for people living up in Greenland, but also for people in Denmark. We have 17,000 Greenlandic people living in Denmark. It sums up to like 1/3 of the Greenlandic population. We have a lot of Danes living in Greenland. More than 1 out of 10.
Can American generals and military principals say no? Yes, and they should, because it's an illegal order, and they should say no.
It has been that for centuries. And we look
they
at
should
ourselves
actually jail the person
as
giving
US
that illegal
closest
order,
allies.
which is the president of the United States.
I've had this discussion with the president previously. You know, in Afghanistan, we had exactly as many casualties as US. And I know very well that, you know, the future is not necessarily about the past. But I think it is important also to have the past in mind. And we are eager to fulfill our promises. And even though our view on the situation right now around Greenland differs from public statements in the US, we share the concerns in a long-time perspective. And we want to work closely with the US, but it must, of course, be a respectful kind of cooperation. And we both took the opportunity, of course, also to express that it is not easy to think innovative about solutions when you wake up every morning to different threats. Whether that will have an impact, I can't say for sure, but I can only say that it is in everybody's interest, even though we disagree, that we agree to try to explore whether it is doable to accommodate some of the concerns while at the same time respecting the integrity of the Danish kingdom's territory and the self-determination of the Greenlandic people. Thank you.
Ja, og her er det altså slut, i hvert fald med den her internationale del af pressemødet. Vi ved ikke, om der kommer...
It is so refreshing listening to real politicians who are actually capable of speaking in a language not their own and make full fucking sense. Instead of that, what we listened yesterday in the Ford factory in Detroit. So, summa summarum. The Danish wants to find a common ground and also de-escalate it a bit, but not completely. So it kind of depends on how Trump reacts to when JD Vance and Rubio tells him what happened. Go away, cultist. So unfortunately, everybody here knows that Trump doesn't take no for an answer. So this doesn't mean that the situation is resolved. I'm fearful that this is actually going to escalate the situation because Trump is a little toddler who hates when somebody says no, that you can't play in that, you can't play with that, so you can't watch the TV now. He's gonna throw a toddler fit on his social media, 100%. Haven't done it yet, but probably will. He's gonna get on True Social with another incoherent rant, another 100 fucking tweets in a row. He governs by True Social, which is kind of funny. Did you read about the? He wanted to freeze the interest rates of credit cards, and he posted that on Truth Social. That wasn't executive order, or that wasn't a law. And the credit card companies were like, we're not fucking listening to any Twitter post or social media post. That's not like the rule of the land. So make that an executive order or make that a law. But yeah, he's one of the only ones that actually rules through social media, which is pretty freaking wild if you ask me. Yes, he did that to try make American people think he's for them. He's doing a lot of like social shit that in the past he would have been, you know, trialed for treason. Do you agree that everybody who messed with kids needs to be put in prison, Trump included? What are we talking about? Epstein files. Greenland is definitely not with the United States. Like, let's get one thing straight. Like, if one thing is a fact, that is a fact that Greenland is definitely not with the United States. The citizens of Greenland and also Greenland as a country. Well, not a country, but as a territory of Denmark. That's why Trump is awesome. Democrats bow down to the banks and credit cards as much as Trump. Trump is just playing midterms. Hey Suomi, what up Vladimir Putina? Trump is so afraid of midterms that he's already scaring Republicans. There was a report that allegedly, this is not 100%, but allegedly, he was asking Speaker Mike Johnson, what are the ways that we can stop the election? And Mike Johnson said that there's not actually, that's not going to go through Congress. Like, you can't do that. Allegedly. And Easter Bunny is real. I love to see Trump pass the 4th grade test. Pick any subject. Nice profile pic. Makes sense to support Trump. Oh, you're talking to Daniel. He wants to cancel the midterms. I think it's looking more and more like they are trying how much they can push the citizens of the United States by what the ICE is doing in Minnesota, Illinois, and other cities as well, like other states as well. And as we've seen, a lot of people are just happy with Gestapo. And also now that the Department of Homeland Security announced that they're going to start surveilling United States citizens with drones. And everybody's okay, like on the right side, is okay with that. All of a sudden, like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, surveil us with drones. That's completely fine. I think martial law is coming. If Republicans are looking like they're losing, martial law is coming. The US has had a treaty with Denmark that allows the unlimited access to Greenland for military purposes. Yeah, I made a Twitter post about it. You want to follow me on Twitter? I started again posting a lot of political stuff, so if you like politics. Mango Mussolini is using some Bush-style fiction to justify taking Greenland. Greenland already falls under the protection of NATO, which is also the reason why Russia and China isn't interested in taking Greenland. War with NATO wouldn't be the best choice. Article 5 states that an armed attack against one member in Europe or North America is considered an attack against all, triggering collective response. Article 6 defines the scope to include the islands under the jurisdiction of any of the parties in the North Atlantic area north of the Tropic of Cancer. Greenland fits this description as a Danish island in the Nordic Atlantic north of the Tropic of Cancer. Not to mention the 1951 US-Denmark Defense Agreement. So how about Trump stops invading countries and focuses on US instead? Fuck yeah. Mikä sun nimi on Twitterissä? It's the same. I think it's actually, the Alisa. So it is the same, literally the same. Wait a second, why didn't that update? Oh, there we go. I can show it like this. Weeby! Cry more. I mean, Doomy, do you have a counter argument for that? I mean, LM, there's also another option. Maybe don't spend trillions on defense. If you're not bombing places around the world, you wouldn't make as much enemies as you do, you know? How do you say your name? Alicia. I'm like, it doesn't matter how you say it because it's a username. That's not my real name. That's my wife's second name. And my wife's second name is actually spelled differently. But that's my wife's second name and her original username in like PlayStation or something like that. Yeah, don't start shit. Won't be no shit. Our defense budget is why we have no healthcare. One of the reasons. Like, well, I'm not going to say it's the only reason, but you know, if you wouldn't start shit around the world, maybe there isn't countries that want to, you know, start shit with you. Alisa, keep doing what you're doing, brother. This was an easy sub. Glad I stumbled on your channel. Much love from New York. Hey, thanks LJ for all. Thanks a million. I try my best. Can I hear a Finnish accent here? You want to hear my Finnish? You want to hear me talk Finnish? Do I need to prove that I'm Finnish? Vicky Vic, thanks for the follow. Bree, thanks for the follow. There is an issue with living in Ireland and also working in English and like talking English with my younger daughter and with my wife. But like, I'm starting to mix Finnish and English. Hey Don, thanks for the follow. Like, I was talking to my brother. I was supposed to say Greenland, but in Finnish we say Grönlanti. So what I said instead was Greenlandi. So I'm starting to mix Finnish and English, like with each other. Lippolan Kansleri, thanks for the follow. And Ash, just human, thanks for the share. US pays for Israeli healthcare but cannot afford healthcare for US citizens. I mean, US could definitely afford healthcare for their citizens. Finglish, that's the one, yeah. And you should hear my younger daughter speak, like, she's completely forgotten. I have a great rest of the day, rest of the evening, LJ4. If you're in Finland, it's quite late already. You wish MIGA understood that. Your blind obedience isn't patriotism, it's weakness. Who is patriotic? Captain's Lock with another 50 Swedish kronor. Sverige kronor. Sorry about that complete fucking butchering of that. How bad was that, Captain's Lock? Hey, thanks a million for it. I married my husband solely for his Hispanic accent. What's the population in Finland? I think it's like 5.6 million or something like that. It's the same size as in Ireland, except we have more room. What was Finland's currency before euro? It was Finnish mark. Suomen markka in Finnish. Next phase, you start reading Finnish names like Teemu Selänne. No. Like, that's one thing that I've never understood very cool is like, you know how to pronounce them. So why the hell are you pronouncing them like you would in English? Because that's not how you pronounce them. You pronounce Finnish names or Finnish things as they are in Finnish. For example, Teemu Selänne, not Teemu Silani. Teemu Selänne. We know how to pronounce it. Like, very cool. Mark, yeah, mark. Finnish mark, just like Deutsch mark. I think French also had mark at one point, but it was mark, yeah. The Finnish mark. Remember how they used to scream, "Don't tread on me"? I do remember that. I'm old enough to remember. That, I think the press conference was relatively good, though. It's like he gave up, like, I am Teemu Selänne. Yeah, but Teemu Selänne is one of those Finnish people that I'm quite sad how he fell over the deep end, you know? We should talk about it. I missed it. I like Finnish lakritsi and pihlajan marja karkki. Oh, you mean kettukarkit? Oh, yeah. So sing Jaja Ding Ding. Jaja Ding Ding? What the hell is that? MIGA needs to give up using the God's Den flag. Don't tread on me. All right, so we all heard the Danish Prime Minister talk. And we all heard the Greenlandish Premier talk. What are going to be the next step from this? Especially the way they are always putting their neck on the curve. What? What the fuck is that? I think it's going to take a day. Everything is going to be fine. People really need to stop freaking out about politics and start actually engaging in a constructive way. No, I think freaking out about a person who we clearly saw invade another country in front of our eyes and now is threatening an ally. I think that, like, freaking out about that is kind of like justified, because clearly he isn't following any sort of morale. We can't really trust him. Yeah, but Maduro was against you. Do you think us will care? What? Yeah, you should have just snagged Maduro there, and that's it. If you want to claim it was a law enforcement operation, you snagged the person you have a warrant for, arrest warrant. You snagged that person, even though that's a bit shady, and that's it. Happiness, thanks for the follow. Turning a blind eye is really not a feasible option. Yeah, I don't think so as well. Protesting our government is as American as is in apple pie, but MIGA hates it. Can't sleep with sock, thanks for the follow. Delta Force of Prime Minister of Greenland. No, why would you do that? Like, what crime has the Prime Minister of... They don't have a Prime Minister, but the Premier of Greenland. What's the crime? I'm not for foreign governments going and stealing whoever the leader of the country is, based on crimes you claim that they have committed in your country that they haven't committed, and they are not based in your country. It's like, I would say that I'm gonna charge Trump for speeding in United States based on our laws in Ireland. Makes no fucking sense. Queen Bee Bait, thanks for the follow. GG, thanks for the follow. You can't make up an excuse. Like, one of the charges was gun crime. And that was charged in the United States. Maduro had permissions to have those guns in Venezuela. So how the fuck do you charge the guy for a crime he didn't commit in your fucking country? Explain that. Suzanne, thanks for the follow. The drug charges, yeah, I can understand that. Alleged drug trafficking charges, I can understand that. Ricky, thanks for the follow. He hasn't said it yet, but my bet is Trump is trying to rename Greenland to Trumpland. I think we need to seriously start thinking about, like, sending those Epstein files to Greenland. That's the best security against the United States. Oh, we want to protect Mexico? Let's send some Epstein files to Mexico. Oh, we want to protect Greenland? Epstein files to Greenland as well. We would just sprinkle Epstein files all around all the fucking countries of the world, and all of a sudden Trump is like, hey, where the fuck did all the countries go? Make a wall of Epstein files. It happens outside the US, but nobody talks about them like they do Trump. Please provide, from the past 5 years, a Western country who invaded another country, steal their leader, alleged leader, well, he kind of took over the election, a dictator to be fair, took their natural resources and now is deciding, leading the country and deciding who is going to be the future leader, if anyone. Name another country like that, a Western country. I'm waiting. And no, like, Russia, even Russia hasn't done that yet. That's how fucking wild this is. Even the big bad guy of the fucking world, Russia, hasn't done that. And that bar is fucking low. And even they haven't done that. Rename Greenland to Epstein Island. He won't go near it. I have called out Clinton many times in the Epstein files. I think it was kind of... I think Clinton needs to have repercussions not going in front of Congress. He was summoned in front of Congress and he didn't go there. Clinton is in the Epstein files. What the fuck are you talking about? This is the problem, Norm Tardif, that everybody who's in the Epstein files should be put there. I can say that. But you can't admit that Trump is in there because, oh my God, my leader, my beautiful leader. But Trump is the sitting president. Yeah, Trump can't be put there. Yeah, true. You can't put Trump in front of Congress. Even the Republicans said that bullshit reason. Trump is a narcissist, and narcissists want to establish a legacy in any way possible. Trump wants his name on everything he can get it on before he croaks and his health is rough. Cankles heart failure. put Trump on my house. I wouldn't. All of a sudden, the value drops. He put his name on the top of President Kennedy at the Kennedy Center. I mean, he really likes it, though. Yeah, that's the thing these MIGA cultists don't think about. So who really cares if a former president is in the files? Well, I do care if the former president is in the files, because possibly they've done some shady shit as well. But I would be more worried that if the current one is like the same thing. If we lived in like in the 90s and we found out that Bill Clinton had gone to Epstein Island and done some shit, I would be fucking outraged that Bill Clinton is still sitting as president and Democrats isn't doing anything. But we aren't living in the 90s anymore. They should be held accountable, but we should be hyper-focused that we have leadership at the moment, both Democrats and Republicans, who are in those files. It matters for everyone in the files, absolutely everyone. How do you feel things are gonna go, Greenland Trump? It depends how how Trump reacts. Swollen ankles is a sure sign of heart issue, yeah. I don't think he'll make it into the midterms. They're probably gonna invent some fucking miracle drug and make him like survive. Huge news, Germany is deploying troops to Greenland, but it's a NATO ally, so of course they are. I voted for Trump 3 times. I mean, I salute you if you're proud of that. There are quite a few things that I wouldn't like publicly announce about. Like, if you're proud of that, go for it. It's your like basic freedom. You can choose what you want to. You can vote whoever you want to. Hey, just me, thanks for the follow. That's a share. For the sake of the victims, we did every name. Oh yeah, 100%. And Republicans are doing everything not to release them. Well, not the Republicans, but Pam Bondi, who is one of the worst attorney generals in fucking history. No one, they like, if you've read what the Department of Justice has like announced from time to time throughout last year, like fraud everywhere and fucking election rigged and Democrats are in the Epstein files, and like they've accused so many people of so many things and no convictions. 0 convictions. He's done absolutely nothing. Pam Bondi has taken a lot of money from the government and the taxpayers, doing absolutely nothing. Can you see the difference there right now, like tension and more military? We're talking about Greenland, right? Pam Bondi is investigating a woman who got executed, but not the man who shot her. Yeah, because like the Goebbels of the United States, Stephen Miller, said that they have ultimate immunity. Also, J.D. Vance said the same, and also Trump said the same. So I guess you are immune if you kill people, as long as you have the ice badge. She's done nothing but cover things up for Trump. Oh yeah. How do you think that she was selected for the position? It wasn't because she's like really good at her job, because if you look at her record when she was a lawyer, like, it's not like she's a star attorney, you know? Trump surrounded himself with yes men and yes women. And if you're not one of those, you are out of the inner circle. During his deposition, Epstein pleaded the fifth when asked about Trump's involvement, and Trump never testified for the prosecution of Epstein trial. He chose loyalists. None of his cabinet are qualified. Yeah. And if you say no, like a lot of Republicans have, Trump will openly threat you. And you will be out of either the Senate seat or Republican Party completely. He doesn't take no. Gentle diplomatic language cannot hide fundamental disagreement that continue to pose real risk. Snap analysis. I think the Danish and Greenlandic delegation handled it as well as they could, because we have to remember they are talking to people who doesn't know how to do diplomacy and they don't know how to be politicians. Are you from Greenland? I am not from Greenland. I'm from Finland, so close enough. What is your leader saying about him wanting to take Greenland? Alexander Stubb, and also the Prime Minister. Well, Alexander Stubb is the President of Finland and also the Prime Minister of Ireland. We are supporting Greenland. He literally hired people that were on TV. He has actors for people who run our country. Literally. Oh yeah. Pete Hegseth used to be a Fox anchor. A really bad one at that. And also Pete Hegseth was really against Trump. The same as J.D. Vance was really against Trump. J.D. Vance called Trump Hitler. They're also talking to people that aren't rational. And Dan Bongino, no, let's not start with Dan Bongino. Explain it to me like I'm 5. What happened today? Oh, I don't need to explain it to you like you're 5. Like nothing drastically changed. So the Danish and Greenlandic delegation met with Deedle Do and Deedle Da, which is Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, to try and talk about sort of a peace agreement between Greenland and USA. And apparently USA and they didn't agree on everything. So they de-escalated the situation a bit, calmed the situation a bit, but it kind of all boils down on how will Trump take this. And that is what we're now waiting for, is when Trump wakes from his nap and after he's played the 18 holes of golf, we probably will hear Trump's opinion about it. Bradley, thanks for the follow. I want to Trump to be suddenly gone. Vance taking the crown and making 100. It's going to be Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller would probably assassinate J.D. Vance instantly. So USA got mad. Yes. JP Cool, thanks for the follow. I mean, it's Trump's nap time already, like. He can't even play a round of golf anymore. I mean, I would have like perfect rounds every time myself if I had a person who would drop the ball as close as possible to the optimal place. He can't even play fucking golf without cheating. Imagine that. You're so narcissistic that you need to be the best in everything and the best person in everything. So even in golf he's cheating. Trying to negotiate a peace agreement when we've been at peace for half a century. Yeah, but when your president is literally threatening the Greenland that they're going to take it over, you know, physically he's in very bad shape. Oh yeah, that's true as well. Hey, Book Hooker, thanks for the follow. He cheats and then gives himself trophies as his own clubs. Oh yeah, he has the best score in his club. Is this Ozzy's son? No, this is Ozzy itself. Do you think Trump will take care of Iran first rather than Greenland? Okay, LM, and I have a counter question for you. Why should the United States intervene with Iran? I've been supportive of some policies, but taking another sovereign country is insane. Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent worked for George Soros, managing Soros's financial assets in the United Kingdom for 20 years. Soros isn't right-wing enemy any longer. I mean, I think Soros plays both sides of the same fight, you know? Stephen Miller gives me chills. Stephen Miller should give everybody chills. He's like a mix of Mussolini and Goebbels. My family came to America long ago to escape dictator to BS like this. I'm tired of this. I am not a supporter. I'm just interested. Yeah, this is like... Has anybody ever told you about the Aussie resemblance? I think at least 3 times a stream. At least 3 times a stream. No, why the US intervenes everywhere? That is exactly. I mean, they have interests, you know. Do I need to... Do I need to show you again? Because they can. The better question is should. Just because you can do something, you can literally murder everyone you see. Should you do that? That's a childish argument to have, though. Because I can, I'm gonna do that. No. You can do a lot of things. But a sane person would stop and think, should I do? Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Enjoy. Can you explain why people don't like Stephen Miller worse than they don't like Trump? I think, not me though, but a lot of people think that Stephen Miller is actually running the country. I think that's why a lot of people hate him. Also, he's a vile human being that actually enjoys seeing people die. He celebrates people dying if they're leftist or if they're killed by ICE agents, and he just likes to make people suffer. He also is super racist. I would be ticked about it too. So what do people do for a living in Greenland? Mining oil? Mining minerals? A lot of things. Fish as well. So Stephen is worse than Trump. Well, Stephen isn't in power per se. So can't really say. I think Trump is kind of scary as well because, like, well, he is at power at the moment. But Stephen, if given... I think if you give Stephen Miller power, it would be way fucking worse. If they really do commit aggression, how will Denmark respond? Well, the better question is how will NATO respond? Miller and Ruswell are running Trump. The US is sending the first humanitarian shipment to Cuba. Okay, so Marco Rubio, you just met with the fucking Danish and Greenland delegation and you're tweeting about Cuba. Luthien, thanks for the sir. With Miller, I totally agree, way worse. I mean... I think they're gonna attack Greenland, though. I wonder if we're gonna get a reaction.
Judgment and the temperament to keep this country safe. I don't know anyone who would be comfortable with someone who behaves this way having his finger on the button. I mean, we're liable to wake up one morning and Donald, if he were president, would have nuked Denmark.
That is Ted Cruz in 2016. That is Ted Cruz, one of Trump's loyalists now, in 2016, saying that if Trump gets in power, he will fucking nuke Denmark. Beautiful. Fucking joke of an admin and joke of a Ted Cruz. I mean, yeah. Now Ted Cruz licks Trump's boots. I mean, Trump needs some cleaning under his boots, so. So we don't have any response from the White House or the US, like Trump's admins. Nothing. So I wonder how fucking bad it went for the US for them not to open their mouths. You all probably see more of what's going on when we do, because we are so censored right now. Mama, can I ask where you're from? So we move on to Iran. Yeah. We need Greenland. No, you don't. Canada stands with Greenland. Yeah. Oh, USA. I mean, you can access various news sources in USA, right? Nope, we are censored here as well. If didn't go in their favor, so they won't report it and will lie when they do. Yep. That is probably what's gonna happen. Caroline Lewitt once again will wear the biggest fucking Christian cross on her neck and go in front of cameras and say that, yeah, the people in Greenland and also Denmark said that fuck Trump and Trump has small hands, so we're gonna attack Greenland. She's gonna do that. Yeah, they made fun of Trump's hand size and also like the fake tan that Trump has, and now we're gonna attack Greenland. No response because it's Trump nap time. I think it's Trump's nap time. So there's some escalations in Iran as well. Of course, we know that Trump wants to... His response to anything is like, yeah, we're gonna invade it, we're gonna steal all your natural resources, and we're gonna fucking attack it. Ghoul, thanks for the follow. Trump doesn't nap. I mean, yes, he does. He naps all the time. He naps even during his own press conferences. Doesn't exist there. The reasoning about Russia going there, if the USA doesn't go first, really doesn't make sense to me. If it doesn't make sense to you, you're on the right track. It shouldn't make sense to you, because it makes no sense. We are 1,500 miles from Greenland, and we're 15 miles from Russia. Yep, Russia is your neighbor. It's still about resources and rare earth metals. Yes, it is. Seeking Susan, thanks for the follow. Great, his hand size and his spray tan. The two things that trigger Trump the most. I mean, Trump's middle finger. There was one of the best edits I've ever seen. It was anonymous, right? I think it was anonymous that originally posted it. There we go. I'll show it to TikTok as well. That's the middle finger that Trump showed the Ford worker. That's not edited. That's Trump's real hand size. I have to say that if Trump didn't wear those really fucking two big sleeves on his suits, like his hands wouldn't look as small. But because I don't know who does his suits, but they're really fucking bad. So his hands look way, way smaller than they probably are. But they are still small hands, though. After being called a pedophile protector, exactly. Small hand Trump was so mad that he threw a small little middle finger there. Yeah, Sonny, I saw that, yeah. DJ Ford worker just collected over 300,000 on GoFundMe. I fucking love that. And also probably is gonna get paid because the union is gonna sue Ford. What do you think about him wanting to take Canada? Do you think he will do that? I mean, it's Trump, so it depends on, like, if he wakes on the right foot, which is the only foot that works. If he wakes on the wrong foot, he will shit his pants. That's a good point. I mean, have you ever seen Trump's suits? Like, his sleeves, at the end of the sleeves, are fucking too wide, so they make his hands look way smaller than they are. Hopefully his suit designer does that shit on purpose. PJ, thanks for the follow. Still no response from Trump though. Let's see. Trump Truth Social. I don't like going into this page because this is just like. Oh my fucking god. You guys want to see? This is Trump's social media page and these are the fucking ads. They're completely random all the time. I have not searched anything related to those. Anyone with diabetes should watch this. I don't even know a person who has diabetes. Like, this Truth Social is one of the most scammiest designs ever. I'm learning a lot following global creators. Love to hear your perspective. I mean, it probably kind of helps that living in Europe, because we get a broad view of different like news all around the world. Like all the time. And also English kind of helps as well. Really, you don't know anyone with diabetes? Actually, no. I don't, at least from the top of my head, I don't know anyone with diabetes. I refuse to get on there. I only go to Truth Social to see what the fuck did Trump just say. I have diabetes, but I'm also. What is the sane and real reasoning behind the Trump wanting Greenland? Minerals. That's it. Minerals. Trump wants minerals. Texas Gar, thanks for the follow. No thanks on joining Trump's. I'm not gonna join Trump's propaganda page, but unfortunately he gets ad revenue for me just stepping in there. Because it's literally 95% ads. Arsenal, thanks for the follow. Well, my friend moved to Portugal last year, now wanting to go to the UK. She said Portugal is getting bad. Dang, it accidentally went out of the live and had to come back in low. Yeah, TikTok already informed me that they're limiting my reach because of my topics. Do you see how a lot of Americans do where this looks like a Germany thing? It kind of... the things that the government is doing is reminding me of a lot of like historical Germany things that Germany did back in the day. Trump's always on the grift. Hey, Doc Darker, what up? Thanks for the hard and go popular as always. Asking people for their paperwork randomly. Yeah, exactly what they used to do in the 30s Germany. But apparently it's something that we should start doing in 2026 again. A lot of people who are coming to my comment section saying like stuff like stop crying and such, they don't know history, or they're accepting. They think that they're on the winning side, but as we also know throughout history, you shouldn't skip history classes. If you have a history class, stay in that fucking class. Because if you think you're on the winning side, I will tell you a bit of a newsflash. No, you're not. Ask the people who were just doing their duties and just doing what they're told. Ask how that went. You can't, you know? And Kovala is building TikTok server facility. Oh, really? Limiting your reach. Not surprised because the listener running TikTok. Yeah. They've been hammering me quite a lot when I've been talking bad about, like, you know, politics. Yeah, they were hung. Yeah, just following orders. And if you think about, like, what happened to the Swiss bankers as well. Facts, if they would only pick a book, it's really not that hard, yes. There's plenty of shows that you can watch also to help educate. 100%. Like, but we are being censored and our conversations are being monitored now. Now they work for NASA. Yeah. Werner von Braun was one of those that avoided execution or even like fucking any sort of justice what he was a part of. And Werner von Braun was promoted to be the head of NASA. Yep. Second World War is my jam. And Werner von Braun wasn't the only one. Definitely not the only one. All right, Iran time. US military action in Iran appears increasingly likely. I kind of support taking Greenland. There is a consequence that Europe is about to learn in a horrific way when you sacrifice your military power and nation's defense on... No name, we just had a conversation about this, that United States could have free healthcare and other things as well if they didn't attack half of the world, make enemies everywhere. So that's why they justify their big defense budget. But if instead they stop fucking attacking others, they wouldn't need to spend as much in defense, so they could actually take care of their citizens. So it's like a parent beating their child because their parent is getting beaten up by his boss or somebody else. Like you're reflecting your own fuckery to somebody else. And at this point, Trump is reflecting the fuckery that he's doing, and also the predecessors of Trump, to other countries. And they're increasing their budget. They're increasing their military budget by 500 billion. 500 billion. They are increasing their military budget by 500 billion. Meanwhile, what are they doing for the citizens of the United States? Do you have free healthcare? No, you don't. Okay. Did you fix all the electric grids in the states that have really bad ones because of winters and snows and storms and such? Oh, you didn't? Oh my fucking God. Power is the only real way of enforce peace, and if you don't have a way to defend what you have, then it was never yours. That is exactly. That is. The olds and kids have free healthcare. No infrastructure sucks. Trump wants to humiliate the Danes. That's his kink. When you live, do you have free healthcare? Well, we fund majority of the healthcare with taxes. 500 billion, and they keep taking from us. Power is the only real way to enforce peace, and if you don't have a way to defend what you have, then it was never yours and you are only holding on to it. You know who's also said that in 1928? I don't know if you did that on purpose, but that is literally almost paraphrasing from a guy from 1928 Germany. Yeah, there's a no-name commenter in YouTube that actually used that. I just looked video Iran Tehran. There is so much people streets. Oh yeah. Well, the protests are still going on. Who said that the old people and kids have healthcare? Well, no name is just a troll that spouts out like fucking Joseph Goebbels' own private book stuff, which is kind of sus. But yeah, even the Americans in my TikTok chat know that old people and kids don't have healthcare, free healthcare. I like your accent. Hey, thanks, Brennan. It's the same in New Zealand. Healthcare is underfunded, but get it if needed. There is a few states in the United States that are trying to do something unprecedented. For example, New Mexico. Was it New Mexico? I think it was New Mexico. Is trying to make universal childcare free. Free universal childcare. All for that. If you don't want to provide free healthcare for adults, one group of people who should have free healthcare is children. I can speak fluently Persian language. My child is half Iranian. No one dies in the States. They just use the emergency room for their healthcare. What? No one dies in the States. That's a bold claim. No, I know you didn't mean it like that, but just making fun. I did. Yeah, I know. Just lighting up the mood a bit. So, still no response from Trump. You know what? Yeah, there's a funeral ceremony in Tehran today. Mass presence of Iranians in Tehran to attend the funeral ceremony. But I think those are like what you would call loyalists, right? At least in Canada, they will offer you maid. Trump encouraged the protesters in Iran to get violent. They get executed for it. Yeah, I think there's been a lot of killing of protesters in Iran. How many? It's really hard to say still. So I guess Iran is safe now. Trump just said he was notified that Iran has stopped the killings, just said in a press conference. Okay, this is wild. So, in YouTube, the US Pentagon has shown President Donald Trump numerous options for potential targets in Iran, including its nuclear program. In TikTok, so I guess Iran is safe. Trump just said he was notified that Iran has stopped the killings. Just said in a press conference. Is Trump fucking speaking? Well, there you go.
In great numbers, I will say. I think I got every one of them. In December, I also signed the Secure Rural Schools Reauthorization Act, and I'm proud to say that these two pieces of legislation will give
so many people dead in
children
2025. Oh yeah.
Across the country the resources and support that they need, not just to succeed, but really to thrive in life and later on in life. So I want to ask Secretary Rollins to say a few things, and then I'd like to ask Secretary Kennedy and Dr. Carson. I'd also like to hear from these great political leaders, senators, congressmen, if they'd like to say something. I'd be honored. So, Brooke, do you want to start?
Yes, sir. Thank you. And what a joy and an honor it is to be here. I feel like I have the best job in the world with representing all of these farmers. And Mr. President, not in our lifetime has been a president who loves and supports our farmers more, and certainly the dairy farmers. I want to thank all of our farmers here today, sir. Most of them are 5th and 6th generation. They represent...
I have to stop that because that is so fucking hilarious. Trump loves the farmers so much that he fucked over the farmers twice. Once in the first term in 2018. He fucked the farmers with his tariffs and trade war, and he needed to bail them out for $12 billion. And he fucked the farmers again in 2025. The same way. Started a trade war with China, with his tariffs, and needed to bail them out for $12 billion. That's not loving your farmers. That's like enjoying seeing them suffer.
represent states from all across our country and bringing the children to and seeing what the next generation of dairy farmers looks like. The amazing thing is some of these farmers back here from Butler, Pennsylvania,
Oh yeah, actually 3 times. So, didn't he pay like one in the middle, but it wasn't $12 billion. It was like a lower amount.
Where? Butler, Pennsylvania.
Laugh or you get fired. If you don't laugh, you will never see the light of day.
Yeah, they love you. They love you. But he milks about 40 to 60 cows. And then we have Jamie from Wisconsin, who milks about 5,000 cows. So they represent all across the spectrum. And what this means,
Greenland or
I think
Denmark.
it's important to know
And Ukraine as
that
well.
in the last year, your support.
He's bailing out the farmers, but only after they squirmed. He created the problem. Yeah, it's not the only time he's done that. He creates a lot of problems, then he solves those problems, and all of a sudden he pretends that the original problem he didn't create it, and it was probably Biden's fault or Obama, as always.
For these American
and he pats
farmers,
himself
for
in the
rural
back.
America.
Good job.
The One Big Beautiful Bill was the largest investment in rural America in history. I think that's important to note. The trade, and I see my friend Jameson Greer over there and Howard Letnick on this end. We've opened up more than 24 different markets. Milk exports, dairy exports are up 23%.
What's your favorite ABBA song? I don't know. Can somebody help me? Daddy Cool. Is that an ABBA song? Money, money, money. Oh my god, I don't care for ABBA, sorry. Fernando. Super Trooper. Yeah, Super Trooper. Yeah, I'll take Super Trooper.
Just in the last year. And when you think about the ag deficit that happened under Joe Biden and the 4 years, we went from a surplus of agriculture products when we left the first time to a $50 billion deficit when we came back. Yep. So these are massive, massive wins for America, and I think it's important to note that. I also want to note, and you said it as well, that over a decade ago, Michelle Obama, in this very room, made an announcement on a short-sighted campaign to ditch the whole milk in schools, and that's what we're working to fix today. Last week, Bobby Kennedy and Ben Carson and Dr. Oz and the whole crew, sir, announced the Dietary Guidelines for Americans 2025 to 2030, which also reintroduced full-fat dairy into a healthy diet. And today, by signing this bill, Senator Marshall and Congressman Thompson and both, all the wonderful
MIGA minions are in with fascist Trump, even as he closes 1,000 rural hospitals and nursing homes.
Certainly our children is so important. USDA is posting today the guidance. So we're signing the bill, and USDA, we're moving at Trump time, is posting today the new rulemaking that is necessary to get whole milk back into school lunches. So that's a really, really big deal.
So how long will that take?
It should just take a few weeks, and then the milk starts moving in. So it's a big announcement, sir, for our schools and our children. And I know Secretary Kennedy will talk a little bit about the health issues, so I won't do that. I'll skip over that. You mentioned, and the last thing I'll say, I know we're here to sign the bill on whole milk, but Senator Crapo's work and our wonderful friend Doug LaMalfa, who we lost way too soon.
Right.
Their work on securing Rural Schools Reauthorization Act.
I'm so utterly confused now. I needed to eat something. I haven't eaten in a while. What are you eating?
Eligible rural counties across the nation.
I think this is tagliatelle, some chickpeas, paprika, some onions, pasta ya pesto. No. That's kind of a vegetarian dish, I think. There's no meat here. Vegan stuff, yeah. I'm not a vegan though. I'm not a vegan, but I do enjoy when my daughter and my wife does vegan stuff. I'm never gonna say no to them.
I'm glad you asked, because I brought a chart, and it just happened to be right.
Here for we're discussing milk, and these people all here today than they would have been if we didn't sign this. So we'll be talking about that in a second. Will, could you read the...
I want hummus now.
items, and we're going to get going after that. We'll be talking about a couple of things. We have
the President signed 2 executive actions. The first is the result of a Section 232 trade investigation.
Looks like you're a fan of fish. I do like quite a lot of fish, to be fair. But I'm also like a huge fan of, like, you know, the classics, turkey and chicken. But fish is really, especially like salmon.
Into critical minerals supplies. What it does is it sets up a mechanism, a process by which the United States will seek to.
What's your favorite tuna? I would say salmon or trout. Like rainbow trout is really nice. I think rainbow trout is one of my favorites, and also like just a proper Norwegian salmon.
This one into semiconductors. It sets up a 2-phase process. Under the first phase,
I think Trump eats through a straw, so anything Trump eats is put through a blender. Red lentils are great. Lentils in general is good.
Will be subject to a 25% tariff.
Rainbow trout, oh yeah. Kravlaksen raasteleipä. Good choice as well.
To other foreign countries would be subject to that 25% tariff.
Do Finland has only metal bands? I would say yes. There's a few Finnish people in the chat. I would say we have only metal bands. You seriously look like my dad back in the day.
Those are
oh God, that must be trippy. Imagine if you were like taking some mushrooms or something. That would be fucking scary.
It's a chip. It's not the highest level, but it's a very good level. And China wants them, and other people want them, and we're going to be making 25% on the sale of those chips, basically. So we're allowing them to do it, but the United States is getting 25% of the chips in terms of the dollar value, and I think it's a very good deal. Great deal. We're taking billions of dollars, and they've done a fantastic job. But it's not the Blackwell or the Rubin. Those are the.
Trump is the only person who can say that. In his mind, 25% is higher than 75. Like, he's the only person that can say that, even though my number is lower than yours, my number is better.
The 2 top, but it's a very good chip, and people want it, and we think it's in our best interest to do. And we have some other little things to talk about. Maybe we'll start that first. Should I start that first? I think they're going to want me to. I have a feeling they're going to want me to.
My son recently took me trout fishing at Barry's Preserve in Colorado. We had a great time and actually caught trout. Yeah, fresh trout, like freshly caught trout is really, really nice.
In Iran is stopping. It's stopped.
Now I want Ruben.
And there's no plan.
His favorite quip is $1 billion.
An execution or executions. So I've been told that on good authority. We'll find out about it. I'm sure if it happens, we'll all be very upset, including you will be very upset. But that's just gotten to me, some information that the killing has stopped, that the executions have stopped. They're not going to have an execution, which a lot of people were talking about for the last couple of days. Today was going to be the day of execution. And
so, according to Trump's resources, the executions and the killings has stopped in Iran. I wonder if that's he's bending a knee to Iran. Why would it stop? Yeah, that's kind of weird, though. That is kind of weird that they would all of a sudden stop. Maybe he needs to focus on Greenland for a while. Yeah, but he's partially responsible for the execution. They are gonna attack Iran eventually. He needs to talk with his boss Putin. Make sure your phones are fully charged because you're going to record some amazing scenes with them. There's a lot of shit talking going on at the moment from the Iranian government side, which is like, of course, they're threatening Israel. Daddy Vladdy. There's not a carrier close. Iran said they would punish Israel. Yeah. I think Trump was pressured to back off.
Another piece of information that I think is very important is the leaker has been found and is in jail right now. And that's the leaker on
I was about
Venezuela.
To say he's moving him somewhere else.
Very bad leaker. So there could be some others, and we'll let you know about that. We're hot on their trail. But the leaker has been
anyone
found
noticed
and the leaker's in jail.
That there have been a lot of more Hispanic eyes around lately?
Let's see what happens. So we'll let you know. We'll keep you apprised as to what's going to happen with that. And I want to thank all of the incredible people behind me, political people, both Republicans and Democrats, because they like whole milk. Whether you're a Democrat, right, with Elijah, a very good person.
Better for nutrition and also for our kids. I'm in agreement. Kids having access to healthy milk is
he's calling people that
is really good.
He's calling people that leak his bullshit information a problem. It's called whistleblower. It's called reporting. Yeah, like I'm all for whistleblowers. I think we should have more of them. People should have a fucking spine if they see something that's unlawful or just heinous. Of course, we know what USA does to whistleblowers. It's the same fucking shit that Russian do to whistleblowers. I gotta go, but it's been nice talking to y'all. And I subscribe, so I'm sure shall meet again. Hey, Brennan, thanks again for the sub and also hanging around and having a good conversation. Tracy, thanks for the follow. Sonny also, thanks for the follow.
I get very excited about.
Say a few words.
Sure, I'll be very brief. We all want to see you sign this bill. But
yeah, we want to see you sign that bill so we can start making money and fucking over consumers. Oh, he didn't say that? You should have seen his face. He might have not necessarily say that, but he sure as hell looked like it. I guess I found the perfect freeze frame. There you go. It's this guy. It's the guy on the left with the hand signaling Trump to sign the fucking... He's a bit too eager to get Trump to sign that paper. He's made about 3 billion in less than a year. Trump, yeah. I gotta go as well. Following, this was a good live. Hey, thanks for dropping by, Stevie. As always. There's bound to be more news to cover, and I'm streaming almost daily. Tomorrow, unfortunately, I'm not be able to stream because I have important real life stuff I need to go. My daughter is the lead female in musical, so we're gonna go and see that. She's gonna kill me if I live stream it from there, so I'm gonna just, like, you know, respect her wishes. But yeah, it's gonna be a proud daddy moment tomorrow. No problem. Love me some like-minded people. Have a wonderful time with her. Oh yeah, 100%. I'm really proud of her. I think we're gonna actually... No, it's... Yeah, I think we're gonna call it a day. I'm gonna make some videos, post them on TikTok, YouTube, and everywhere. And hope you have a great rest of the day. Greenland is still Greenland. And hope to see everyone on Friday. Kiitos taas Vahteraman Siirappi for joining. Keep being an amazing dad. My dad was one of a kind. I'll never forget our daddy-daughter days. Luthien, thanks for the follow. Lol, you mad that Arctic Spear didn't work? What? Greenland is still Greenland, Aska. Great finding you. Thanks as well, Sonny. Thanks for joining. Have a great day and stay safe. Same to you as always. Have a great rest of the day, great rest of the evening, morning, wherever you are. We'll hope to see you again. Peace out. Stay safe. Chill out. Enjoy your day. Bye-bye. Thanks for the live stream, Deaton. Hey, thanks for joining.